And welcome. I am so excited for this special episode of Give Voice to Your Vision, featuring one of our What to Say to 100K and Beyond contributors, the amazing, beautiful, and so inspired. I think I love what you've created in the world. Joy Bufalini is here. She's the creator of Simplify to Multiply. I can't speak. I'm so excited. I
I
cannot
can't
find
spell
words.
that word half the time, so don't worry.
Simplify to multiply. And that's why I'm so excited. It's so important. It's so powerful in today's world of distraction and so many opportunities. And there's so many things we could be doing to be seen, be heard, and be hired, which is the theme of our giveaway. And you have this gorgeous, proven, exquisite, simplify to multiply story and path for people that we're going to touch on a little bit today. So I'm excited to share Joy with you guys. Joy is the creator of Simplify to Multiply. See, my mouth is working now. I calmed down. I took a breath. She helps women scale their business by simplifying their focus. Hello. In her 12 years as an entrepreneur, she's created a 7-figure business, even while raising her special needs daughter. We have some special kids in common as well, Joy. I don't know if you know that. She's known for her warmth, and I can vouch for that as a new friend and colleague in helping women do their soul work in the world. And so we are highly aligned. If you're in my world, you know that she's singing my song, and I'm excited to share her with you. What we're going to talk about today is Joy's going to share some of insights into her journey on being seen, being heard, and being hired. She's going to tell us. Give us a sense of what this Simplify to Multiply thing is, and also how you can access a free cheat sheet, downloadable cheat sheet. What's it called, Joy? I don't have the name right here.
Yeah, it's called the Daily Needle Movers
cheat
sheet.
Yes, Daily Needle Mover. So if you're here and you're watching live, please comment. That's going to help more people see. That's your tuition. That's going to help more people see this and benefit from this. And I'd love to know who here wants to know how to move the needle every day in their business, right? It is the lost superpower of our time. So Joy, I'm so excited that you're here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Michelle. I'm just so happy to have this conversation. And I love how you framed this around being seen, being heard, being hired, because each of those are nuanced, right?
Yes.
Like different energies. And to get to that point of being hired, it's about knowing what is your message to be seen? Who is your yes client to be seen and heard, right? Like there's some requisites. Like I know when I started my business 12 years ago, I thought, well, I just got to put something out there and put up a website, like put up a shingle and people will come, right?
If you build it, they will come. That's what they told me. Yeah.
Right. And, I think a lot of us start our business with a little bit of naivety, right? Especially in the online space. Of course, it was very different 12 years ago than it is now. The noise and the information overload is much higher now. So being very intentional about how we show up, where we show up, how we communicate the value that we bring to our clients is so much more important. And I know you've been around for a long time online.
Yeah. We're going on 10.
You could get away back in the day with like lots of hypey sales pages and being generic and vague and, branding pictures on a yacht and all of that stuff. We don't believe like that's what we need anymore.
People are more sophisticated and more discerning.
Absolutely. We're more discerning now. So if I were to say, one of the things you had asked me before we got on is what's something you had known or done sooner in my visibility to profitability journey was to make some clear decisions because I was all over the place. Like make a decision. So this would be my advice is pick what I call, this is my version of ideal client avatar. Yes, client, I call it. Nice. It's a lot more fun. And it doesn't matter what they're reading, how many kids they have, what age they are. Like we sometimes focus on all the wrong things. Like what your yes client, pick a yes client, which is basically the person that's the perfect fit for a specific offer. Pick a yes client.
That's right.
What's going on in their head? What are they thinking and feeling? What are their desires and challenges? Like actually focus on the things that matter and create an offer that matches that person and focus Instead of having 10 different offers. Oh my gosh.
Yes, thank
So
you.
many offers. I found an old spreadsheet from 2012 just by accident, like a couple of months ago. And it had all
In
these
the
different
vault.
clients' names and like $43, $500, like these weird payments. Like, what was I even offering? It was
Yeah.
so many different options. And so, and I think what happens is if we sort of throwing spaghetti at the wall and not really making clear decisions, then we say, oh, well, I need to buy this big join this 10K mastermind, year-long mastermind where I'm going to learn this whole big long thing. And you can end up doing things. I'm not saying there's anything against 10K masterminds at all,
Right.
but sometimes we can jump into
My
things.
first was 60. So, you know,
There you
I was
go.
going all in. And it was that
Woo!
investment. It was the decision
Yes,
that
yes.
expanded me most. Right.
Absolutely. So true. Sometimes though, and this is what happened with me, not the same for everybody, is you start going into these really complicated strategies. Well, I need funnels. I need tripwires. I need
100%.
ads. And you spend your
100%.
day on all these things that do not make any sense until you have real proof of concept for your business model. Until
Say
really
that again. Say that again.
there's some
It's important
things.
and we skip over it.
Okay. There's some things you just have no business spending time on that don't make any sense to spend time on.
You're going to have to do them all over again. Once you dial in the message of your
Yeah,
client, that language of
totally.
your client, you
Yeah.
dial in the proven offer that works.
Exactly.
And building your website. And we do it because we think we need to look bona fide.
Totally.
Right? We need to look, and we're kind of maybe a little vulnerable inside. Yeah. Right. And if I don't have a website, nobody will believe me. Now, having a website is an awesome tool. Keep it super simple and direct if you want to have that as a landing page.
Absolutely.
But don't get bogged down there, right?
Totally. You can overcreate. You can overcreate for a business model that isn't even proven yet. Like you don't have the number of clients that makes sense for you to get this expensive email software or this, complicated funnel software. You really don't need much at all.
And you know what else happens? I see people, because I help with visibility, really being seen, really help, like conquering that inner stuff and clarifying your message to a point where it feels as good to market and be visible as it does to do the work that you want to do. Like when that lines up. And so many of us end up, because we feel a little, we're lack confidence or a little imposter syndrome popping up, or we need these external appearance of being more ready than we think we are. We get stuck working on that website, and then we don't ever have to talk to people or go live. We're hiding behind our business. And my commitment to go online was a massive tear down the walls of my own resistance, vulnerability act. And I was like, I'm going to go all in. And I did that. Scattershot visibility is what I call it. Just like, I'm going to do everything. And I did everything in the first year. And I eked very close to that. I was like 98.5.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
It was a freaking miracle knowing what I know now. And I was exhausted. I had no idea what worked. I was busy all the time. And I felt my internal experience was that nothing was working.
Absolutely.
I was like, oh, well, I tried this offer and it didn't work. So I'm going to try this offer and see if that works. And I'm going to try this masterclass and see if that works. So I'm going to try this class and see if it works. I'm going to do this. And I kept shifting gears. So your message is focused.
And, I've seen people do that, like hit the 6 figures in the first year or two of business, but aren't conscious of what even worked, right?
Exactly.
So just like throwing everything in the kitchen sink out there, and they can hustle their way there. But we know that is not sustainable.
It isn't, and it's no fun.
It's no fun. Like it just completely negates probably the whole reason you started your business to begin with, which is freedom, self-expression, doing your soul work, and you end up, being a full-on marketing agency all by yourself.
Exactly. And your full-time job is marketing.
So that was my first 5 years of business. So
I hear you.
I had never made more than 20K in a year. I was raising my 3 kids, my daughter, who has significant disabilities from birth, brain damage from birth. So a lot of extra things on my plate, like diaper changes for a teenager,
that wasn't what you planned necessarily.
Not what I had in mind, but it's what I started my business. I didn't go back to teaching because I thought, well, here's this great opportunity. Having an online business is perfect for me as a mom, and flexibility. I could make money, great. But I'm like, I need to make more than 20K in a year, or I need to
Hello.
get a job, because medical bills had piled up, a lot of life
Yeah.
stuff had piled up.
Yeah.
And what I had, like, this sort of aha moment, my husband remembers, of me, like, I'm gonna freaking figure this out. Like, this kind of eye of the tiger moment, right? When a redhead gets an eye of the tiger, you better look out, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Anyway, I just had this aha moment that I was really overcomplicating everything. So I went in
Mm,
my office, I wrote down 3 things, and I'm just gonna focus on these things. By the way,
brilliant.
those 3 things are in the Daily Needle Mover cheat sheet.
Yeah, girl.
3
Which
things.
we're going to share a link to. So if you're here
Yes.
watching live, stick
Yes.
around for a minute. We're going to give you a link so that you can access not only Joy's gift, but there's over 20, I think we're up to 22
Mhm.
gifts in this giveaway, and it's only open for another week or so. So we're
Yes,
going to get you
definitely.
access to that in just a sec.
Sign up for it so you get them all. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Love it.
And download the ones you're going to use and implement. As the
There you
host
go.
of this
That's me.
giveaway, if you
Yeah.
want them all, download them all and then decide which ones to implement now to
Yes.
move the needle in your business.
Totally. I love that. So, once I simplified, and we were talking about in these earlier stages of business, pre 6 figures, we're doing all the things.
Yep.
When I okay, I'm simplifying everything. You know how I delivered the next program, like, that I actually started getting clients enrolled in? Dropbox.
Nice.
The content came
I
through email with Dropbox links. Like,
it's
oh my gosh, like, all the things I could let go of by simplifying. And guess what? I had happy, satisfied clients. I started speaking about my offers openly, more courageously, dialing in who I serve and how. And all of a sudden I went right to 6 figures, and then right to multi 6 figures, and continued multiplying. And really kind of kept a pretty simple business model. I don't do the tech, my team. It's dangerous if I
absolutely when
don't
you
touch
have the
the tech.
revenue. Let's talk
Exactly.
about that for just a second.
Yeah,
I know we've got some
totally.
questions here. If we don't get to them all, that's fine. We're giving value.
Yes.
The revenue that you need to have the
Mhm.
business you want. Like, there's a myth that because we can do it all, we're
Mhm.
just going to be scrappy, especially at the beginning, or till we get that 6 figure, we're going to scrap
Yeah.
it together. And it
Yeah.
leads to distraction and overwhelm. And selling it in the simplest possible way. Every course I've created, I delivered on, private YouTube videos,
Nice.
and really keep it so simple. And any of the courses that I ended up leveling and making into modules and putting in a system, I did it after I'd already helped 50 or 60 people
Right.
actually have the transformation. The content was better. It was easier for me to create. And I
Mhm.
had the resources and the revenue to have
Exactly.
team do some of that technology stuff, so that I could be freed up to use my gift and my
Mhm.
genius. It's so
Mhm.
important to design the business that you want with enough revenue, not only for the family needs and your
Mhm.
lifestyle
Mhm.
needs, but
Yep.
to have the support that you want. And that's not saying that everyone has to go out and have a huge coaching team and a
Mhm.
bajillion, mega billion dollar business. But
Yeah.
why not? If it's
Absolutely.
easy and fun,
Yeah. I
you can
mean,
grow
I got
things
to
you want.
multi 6 figures with my executive assistant and I. Like,
Brilliant.
okay, because we were so streamlined. It's like, well, it's time to add more team now, for sure, which was
Yeah,
my husband, social media assistant, team coaches, all the
exactly.
things. My husband retired out of his corporate job, runs the back end of
Perfect.
things now.
That's my plan for mine.
And the
That's my,
payroll. Yeah.
Yeah, having them on payroll. That's right. I actually have a
Totally.
payroll and paying myself. Like, do you
Yeah,
want that? It makes
absolutely.
you mortgageable. It makes you like, there's all
It does.
kinds of
You have lots more write-offs too.
yes, lots more write-offs.
So
Yes.
really treating it like a real business. And so I was treating it like a hobby in the early days. And it was that decision that I made to be seen,
Beautiful.
be heard, and be hired, and actually treat the business seriously. And honestly, just like I treated everything else I'd done in my life, and
Yeah.
probably a lot of the people watching,
Yeah.
like, you've accomplished things in your life. You've had, been successful in a job before, or there's been things where you've been a leader. But for some reason, this online business thing, it is a different dynamic. It's a different duck,
You
right?
know
It's
what it is?
what? You have a name for it?
Do I have a name for it? That's a good idea. It's this talking about our own thing.
Oh, yeah. It's
It's
that
like, this is
energetic.
my message. This
Mhm.
is my voice. This is
Yeah.
what I know. And
Yeah.
I have had clients who stand and teach to IBM audiences of 10,000 people with no problem. And
Yeah.
then they want to like share their gut health revolution. right? And they're and it's like their business, and they left that all behind, and they were burnt out and stressed out. But it's like personal,
It
and we
really, really
care,
is.
care, care. And that's why I love spiritual growth through business ownership.
Absolutely. It
You know
is
what I mean?
fast track. If you decide to get on the train, like look out. It's going to be a wild ride, but
That's
it's
right.
going to
There's
be
no going
fast.
back, baby.
There's no going back.
And when
really,
you're called, there's no going back. That calling will drag you. Proof, I'm talking to myself, drug me kicking and screaming into my next level of self-expression and greatness. And you don't have to resist, right? It's actually easy to surrender.
It's such an important invitation that you become the most self-expressed version of you, the most self-actualized version of you, like all your best traits can come forward, and your shadows will come forward too,
They
right?
will. God
We have
bless
that
them.
opportunity
Showing us the way.
to face them and look at them, and all the things that, working for somebody else, we can just sort of hide them, right?
That's right.
Or being in hobby business mode, we can just sort of ignore them and hide.
You know what I heard myself say a couple months ago? I was talking to a client, and I was like, basically, my business was supporting my coaching habit. Like I loved coaching. I was like a transformation junkie. Right? I was really good at it. And I just wanted to be able to do that and have enough to get by.
Yeah.
But when I was just trying to get enough to get by, my debt grew and my earnings shrank. I had to actually want more and remember that I could ask for more and have and create more. So I don't talk about gratitude as much as I used to in the same way. I talk about appreciation. Because appreciation grows and it's more active. And I was being grateful for what I had to a fault and just trying to have enough to get by. And I had to make that same decision of like, this is a business. I was looking at like, am I going to go get a job? There's no way I could have the satisfaction and the revenue that I can have in my own business in a job. I'm not qualified for one of those jobs. And I don't know if I want to give up what I think I'd have to give up. Yeah. So it's a powerful conversation to make that decision. And your calling is meant to be simply because you have it.
Absolutely.
Right? And the rest is a decision.
And how we get ourselves seen and heard. Sometimes that breaking through, it is doing the inner work, although I've seen people getting stuck in the inner work for years too. Right?
Has to be done through implementation.
That can become a whole hobby in and of itself too. Like I'm working on myself. I'm doing a hero's journey. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And years can go by. And so what really changed things for me, again, like snapped me into like, simplify, Joy, you know how to do this, sort of like something inside of me. And also like getting me out there. And I've been doing so much inner work. I needed to just leapfrog past these last little vestiges of things that were hanging out there. But what did it was having a strong why, because even having an income goal is not a strong enough why.
No,
not of debt is not a strong enough why. I had 70K in debt. It still wasn't prompting me forward. Yeah. So you have to find a why.
Actually holding you back.
Yeah. And for me, it was my kids.
Yeah.
Like,
me too.
This kid needs to go to private school. Like this is not working. Okay, this is an extra 10K a year. Oh, we need an extra 10K a year for this kid to do this, and that was just, my husband was making 6 figures, but for our family of 5 and all the things, it still was not enough. And we were drowning in all kind of debt payments, every month too. So I had set a goal of like 50K, like a little more than doubling. That would cover the school tuition, and then some kind of thing.
Stretching in.
Had a strong why. Like I wanted that for them. And sometimes we have to go outside of ourselves or outside of a number. Because what I realized is like, 6 figures. I want to make 6 figures. Like I couldn't attach to it emotionally. I never made 6 figures anywhere else before. I was a teacher, you just don't make 6 figures as a teacher in your first couple years. And to me, like it had to be tangible. And there was a lot of meaning around, there was actually a lack of identity of me being that person. Yeah. So me being that person and attaching it to a strong why is what, like, I'm getting out there because I care so much about this. Like I'm going to, and I say make this happen lately. I don't mean in a hustle, masculine energy sort of way, but in focus. Like, focus. I'm going to command energy here and I am going to up like I know intuitively.
Create it.
Yeah. So that strong why is so huge. And people can sense like your passion, your confidence, your
If
courage,
you
that
show
you
up.
believe if you show up. Exactly. Right.
Yep.
And, I talk with so many amazing women who have such unique and differentiated and amazing gifts. And maybe
Yep.
they're serving a couple clients that they got from referrals here or
Uh-huh.
there. It's hit
Uh-huh.
or miss. And when I hear about the work they're doing, like, oh my God, the whole world needs to hear about this.
Yes.
And I would never know by looking at their social media profile, like you're doing healing work through remote acupuncture. What? Oh my goodness, this is
Amazing.
amazing. Like, own it, right? Or you help
Right.
people grow their business by reading their astrology chart. What? That's amazing. Right. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of the things that we dismiss, and it's just, oh, it's just me being
Well,
me.
because it's easy for us, so we
It's
don't understand or know how to articulate the value. Yeah.
exactly. So
And
I
I
think
love what you said about how you have to leap forward and do it. One of the
mhm,
gifts I'm giving away in my What to Say giveaway is our What to Say to 100K and Beyond course. And the fifth step in that is say it out loud. You got to put it out there. You got to try your posts, share
mm,
your emails, go
mhm,
live, share your message, do your classes, whatever it is
indeed.
you're going to do. Pick your top three, is what I say. No more than three vehicles of visibility needed here:
Yeah.
email, videos, and some sort of social media. And are you saying it out loud? Are you actually doing it in the marketplace in real time? That's the best thing you can do to clarify any content that you're creating,
Totally.
any infrastructure you need in your business. And if you have your offer dialed in and you know what those three things are, then
Yeah.
everything you create is going to make sense and be able to lead to that. The other thing you touched on that I say that I think we miss a step, getting ready, getting stuck in that ready and that
Yes.
certification, loving the
Mhm.
transformation,
Yeah.
is to actually, if you want to be hired, you
Mhm.
said this beautifully. You started talking openly about your offers,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
I see so many of us think that the visibility is going to get us hired, but we never actually tell people what it is we do,
Yeah.
how we can help, and how to hire us.
Yeah. We
So
just
that's,
assume people know that they can read our mind or they know the work that we could
or
do
that
on
I've got enough stuff out there for them to
yeah.
find.
Right. They'll figure it out. Or if they just go to my website, which maybe
They'll
hardly
click a
anybody's
button and
doing,
book a
right?
call. And
It doesn't
yeah, and there's
work.
so many ways that technology, the digital assets can lose
Yeah,
people, right? In the
totally.
shiny object world. So
Yeah, absolutely. And like we were saying, like they're just every social media channel, our email inboxes are so full and so
yeah,
much noise now. It's important more than ever for us to be clear, direct, talk about our offers openly. It used to be, again, you could get away with being a little vague and people would book discovery calls sort of in a vacuum. But now we
right.
need to put our offers forward, right? People need to know
Absolutely.
how to know if your offer is the right fit for them, exactly who it's for, what the
And
transfer
what it's going to get them.
is,
Mm-hmm.
all those things. Again, it's just let's make it easy for people to buy. Let's make it
Yes.
easy to get hired, right? And
I
it's
love it.
just getting out of this head trash we have around it or the way we've always done it, right? Sometimes we just
Yeah.
have to break the way we've always done it.
Yeah, I think I've done both, like just like do it in my efforts to simplify along the way. Well, I'm not going to change everything. I'm going to just try and keep working this, or I'm going to kind of hone in and tune in this one thing. And that has served me well.
Yeah,
But there
that's
comes
great
the
too.
point where if it's not working, something needs to shift. And we can't always see that on our own,
Yeah,
right? Having outside
absolutely.
eyes and having that real market feedback that says, one of my clients calls them clarity crickets. Well, I posted.
It gives you, does this give
And
you clarity? And
yeah, there's clarity that message didn't resonate. You know what I mean?
absolutely. And sometimes things are just a fluke too, like you can't,
Exactly.
it's not always one, it's sort of the whole of things. And I think you take action, you get a feedback loop of clarity. Like, oh, I liked that, or oh, I didn't like that, or oh, that worked, or oh, that didn't work. And you can't just go from one thing, but sometimes from multiple things, right? And that feedback you get, whether it's something's there or not there, both internally and externally, gives you the next level of clarity. Like, and sometimes
Nice.
it's
Yeah.
contrast. For me, it was taking all those
Yep.
high-tech programs and things that were just complicated business model that gave me the clarity of like, I don't want any of that. It helped me.
And if you don't have clarity on the things now, this 3-step framework, right?
Mhm.
I have a 3-step framework too. We call it the frequency factor.
Love it.
And if you don't have that clarity, all those other things are harder. They take longer. They're less effective, and they're more expensive.
Yep. Absolutely. So true. Absolutely.
Do you want to share any like one thing you wish? I think we've kind of touched on the one thing that you wish you knew that you would do differently, or that you would like to tell your clients. I'd love to hear if you want to just give us a sense of what that framework is, your simplify to multiply framework is,
Absolutely.
and then we're going to tell folks how to get the daily needle mover cheat sheet.
There we go.
So I'd love to hear a little bit about both of those.
Perfect. So my framework, I use the shape of a pyramid or a triangle. Okay. And at the top is sales. Okay. And most of the time, everybody's focused on, I need to get new clients. I need to get new clients, or I need to get hired, or however you want to say that. Right.
Yep.
And we're circling around up here trying to do all these busy activities. So in Simplify to Multiply, we go down to the bottom first. And at the bottom is the combination of who is your yes client, like really clearly nailing that in, and what is your expertise. We're going to marry those two up, right?
Nice.
That creates your offer. That's the next level up, right? So we start down here at the foundations of like, what do I have to bring to the table? What does this client, what do they need? That creates your offer. So you're creating a strong offer that's exactly what someone needs and is the best of your gifts. And this is where you can really own your gifts.
Yes, and it's easier to talk about, and you feel excited instead of dreading it. It's totally different frequency, right? When you have that clarity, you're like, oh yeah, I want to talk about this. Love it.
So back here, we have yes client and your expertise. Then we have your offers. Then we have your messaging before we get to sales. So messaging should come from the foundation of your offer that you're leading
100%,
right? 100%. So you're not just throwing out content in the vacuum, just saying, well, what should I post today? Like, you know exactly who's my yes client, what am I offering them, what's my expertise. So it's all through that lens. It's very intentional. So then that makes sales simple. The top of the pyramid is
it becomes, we call it the next natural step in an easy transformational conversation.
Totally. Right. So just like today, I had people in my DMs asking about a program by name, right? Because I had shared about it today, right? So that can be a very seamless conversation because I was speaking to a specific person. I'm talking about my expertise for that person. I'm talking about the offer that is for this person. My message clearly says what to do and how to reach out to me, and
resonates with those people that are most
with those people, right? Already leaning in, saying, "Oh, she's talking to me." Right?
Yes. Yeah. So good. And it can be so elusive, especially for those of us in what I call the transformation industry. Indeed. You know, we are the astrologers or the healers or the even coaches, consultants, leadership coaches, because we know what they need, and dialing into what it is that they're looking for and staying on the pulse of that is an adventure. It can be thrilling when we know that we're doing it for that one more person that we might be able to serve. Absolutely. Right? So good.
Which is so important. The work that they're doing, you know, all that you described, the spiritual entrepreneurs and the
we're at the leading edge, right? Absolutely. It is the cat's out of the bag. It's the most powerful, it's the future of coaching, some would say, right? Is to own that expansive energy. And people need to know how to do that. And people who have done it and then develop skill in all of these certifications, but also in business growth and get their message out there and have that clear offer. And that, you know, those are the people that are going to ring through and be there to lead the evolution, right?
Absolutely. We're here for it. We're here to support those who are in
an incredible time, right, on the planet right now to be doing that. Sorry, I spoke over you. I got excited.
Oh, no, me too.
I do feel like this is like urgently needed work. And that means the more business owners who step in and be seen, be heard, be hired, and bring forward that transformation, we're really providing an urgently needed support for the evolution of, you know, what is on right now.
The world, which so need right now.
And humanity.
Absolutely. Like every person matters who is helping other people. It's that beautiful ripple effect, right? That we get them get their message out there so they can help transform other people who will help transform other people in their own way, just by living their life.
No, so good. So good. It's so good. That's right. That's what we call your frequency factor, so that when you're showing up and serving at your highest frequency, your highest vibe, the people that are meant to hear you will, and you resonate and you're like a beacon. And so I just love what you're bringing forward. It's so fun to talk to you. Will you tell us about the daily needle movers cheat sheet?
Yeah. So
put that in the comments. If you're watching from my Facebook group, I think this comment's going to post for you right there, so that you'll see that link. And I'm going to come back if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're watching on Joy's page, she'll post a link for you if she hasn't already. We'll make sure you get the link to check out the giveaway. It's only open for another week or so. Yes. So drop in and get those gifts.
Definitely check it out.
Tell us what's in it. What's it?
So the 3 things that I focused on to scale to 6 figures. So like I said, so many are focused on all of these things, spending hours in Canva or perfecting, an opt-in page for a, $10 thing, and, just things that are not the best use of your time in order to grow your message and to grow your reach. And of course, to get hired, as we're talking about here. So there's a short video and a cheat sheet with a short description, easy for you to print and download and print, and just to reminder to you when your to-do list gets this long that you can cross off most of it, because it's really not that important to get you to 6 figures. So it's a really simple focus to help you remember how to keep it simple, and to recognize what's busy work and what are the really truly needle mover things.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Sounds really powerful. I'm going to check it out. Thanks for being a contributor. I feel just honored by your presence. I love that what you're creating, and we're so aligned. And so it's like I was saying to Joy before we went live that we were like redheaded sisters. You're just singing my song. I so value what you're bringing into the world. And thank you for sharing this resource with my community and the others that choose to jump in on the What to Say to 100K and beyond giveaway. Design your business to have the revenue that you want for your life and your business. Joy, thanks so much for taking the time to come in and share your brilliance with us. I love having you in my world. And, for those of you watching now or on the replay, access these gifts. You can access all of them with the link that we provided, including Joy's gift, which is one of the top featured ones. I've got some lovely visibility magic gifts down at the bottom, and messaging gifts for you. And there's some amazing resources for you there, all from trusted, established colleagues of mine, that I'm excited to have you be a part of my world and share your magic with the community.
Thank you for creating this, Michelle. I really appreciate you bringing everyone together to serve the people that sign up for this. They're going to really get a lot of special gifts. That's for sure.
Excellent. Thank you for saying so. And remember, download the ones that are going to move the needle, and download them all if you want, and then decide which ones are going to help you get traction in your business right now. There's some amazing people. If you resonate with somebody here, with Joy, with me, with some of the other amazing contributors that we have, hire them. Get clear, get focused, get supported. And I'm all about the simplification. Is what you're doing today creating the results that you want? And if not, how can you make one shift or have one new insight or one new action, maybe on the daily needle movers cheat sheet, that can help you get the clarity you need and the support you need to move forward? All right. That's my wish for you all. Joy, thank you so much for being here. And we have some more featured contributor interviews coming up for you. So stay tuned, and we will see you on the next Give Voice to Your Vision. All right, Joy, thank you so much for being here.
Bye, everyone.